back to the PAYbook. I am here with Reigan Richardson, one of Charlotte's native. Now, Reigan started at the University of Georgia and then transferred to Duke. She is now a pro player for the Charlotte Crown. Now, thank you for joining me, Miss Reigan. So tell me, how are you today?
No, thank you for having me. I'm doing really well. We just came off 4 games in 5 days, so I'm
hmm
happy to have an off day today. So I'm just been relaxing for real.
Definitely get that. Probably on the go, 25-8. But since we're going ahead and starting about the games, I might as well bring that up first. So you were named the player of the game about 2 games ago now. So you ended with
Mhm.
19 points, and it was kind of just like back to back, threes back to back. I mean, girl was on fire. So what is your mindset going into these games?
Not really to just play relax, play poised, and to just take what the game is giving me. I think the game before then I was like 1 for 10 or like 1 for 9, and
Mm.
really just to be able to stay in it and keep my head in it regardless if I had a game like that. So I was just happy to be able to get my groove back going into that next game.
Definitely get that. So, kind of speaking on getting your groove back, a lot of times basketball's up and down. You never know if you're going to have a really good game or you're going to have an off game. But it does at
Right.
a certain point mess with the confidence in a sense when you're on the court and you can't necessarily get the shots that you want to get. So, how do you stay mentally honed into the game and just keep on going?
Yeah, I feel like that's something that I'm still working with at this moment. Because I know even the previous game that I had yesterday, I was in my head a lot just about my shot selection and not
hmm
making the baskets that I wanted. But for sure, just trusting yourself. Like what they always say, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So just knowing that your player, like your teammates, have confidence in you, the coaches have confidence in you. So just be able to go out there and continue to play regardless of what happened in the past.
For sure. Moving more towards team dynamics now. So the Charlotte Crown started off a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not supposed to be
Yeah.
biased, but Charlotte Crown is, it's my hometown.
We
So it's
know.
like I'm rooting for y'all. But it was a little rough in the beginning. But you guys kind of got the groove back now. But what adjustments had to be made?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of hoopers like just come together from all different areas.
hmm
That we all can play. So it was just like it was a matter of us playing together as
hmm
a unit, as together. So it took a minute for us to build that chemistry, but I feel
Right.
like we're getting the flow of things now.
For sure. So I'm hoping we can keep that flow up. I want to
Yeah,
see y'all in
for
the
sure,
semifinals, all that type of stuff.
for sure.
So kind of starting back a little bit further, what actually sparked your interest in basketball? Of course, we played when we were little, but what actually made you want to take it serious for real, or has it always been that way?
I mean, to be real, I started off playing soccer, and I thought
Mm,
that was gonna be my sport for the rest of my life. But
uh-huh.
I ended up trying basketball when I was young. Like I can't remember what age, but and I just loved it.
Mm,
Everybody around me, like around my people that my parents knew, they always said that I had a natural talent for it. So
mm,
I just wanted to try it, and I just started falling in love with it. I think when I got to high school, a little bit of middle school, but I started taking it more seriously when I realized that people around me were telling me like you can really do this for real. Like you can really, if you take it seriously, like you can really have a passion and
mm.
a profession in this area. So I didn't really start taking it seriously until like high school, but
Mm.
I'm glad I did. I fell in love with the game, so I'm still playing, still happy. So that's all that matters for sure.
Right, definitely so. So speaking of high school, it's amazing because we used to play against each other, and I'm like, girl, oh my goodness. In fact, I never knew that you didn't really start taking it serious till high school, but even then, you were a problem. So, anyways, so going from high school straight to the SEC, tell me
Mhm.
how that transition was.
No, it was rough.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie. The pace of the game is different.
Mm-hmm.
The physicality is different. I knew already like because I had friends in college at the time. I already knew what it was about, so I took my off season training like really really intense, took it
Mm-hmm.
really personal. So by the time I got to Georgia, I was a little bit prepared in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like the conditioning and stuff like that. So just learning the new terminology, learning the schemes, like
Mm-hmm.
that was majority of like the struggle that I had went through. But I think I think going to Georgia was probably a great decision for
Mm-hmm.
me, just because like I met a lot of new people, and my position coach that was there, the guard coach that was at Georgia, actually came was at Duke too as well, transferred to Duke
Oh.
after my season two. So it was good that I had her all 4 years. So that kind
Mm.
of really helped me, especially with my transition from Georgia to Duke as well.
Right. Speaking of the transition, that's SEC straight to ACC. My girl ain't get take no stops, no stops. Oh my gosh, I was so happy when I saw that for you. But once again, a whole different jump, a whole different, not like too different. Obviously, the competitive level is still there, but it's still a different in divisions. So, what actually sparked the reason to want to transfer?
Well, my head coach at the time, Johnny Taylor, she had got an opportunity to coach somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time, like I didn't want to risk going that far. I wanted to be closer to home, so
Mm-hmm.
Duke came in and offered me, and when I committed, that's when my position coach that was at Georgia had called me and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take the position at Duke too."
Ooh.
And so, yeah, it just made it the transition a little bit easier for me.
That's good. So I'm assuming the role didn't change as far as going from Georgia to Duke, considering you also still had the position coach. So did the role technically change in what the coach needed from you?
No, the role didn't change at all. I feel like for me transferring from Georgia to Duke, I was still going into a very high like veteran led team,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
because there are a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors that I was just having to learn from. But I did play the role of what they just needed me to do that year.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got into my junior year, that's when like the role kind of switched a little bit, where they needed me to be more of a scorer
Mm-hmm.
mentality,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where that kind of jump kind of led from there.
Got you. Was it kind of an easy transition? Because from what I've seen and what I kind of know about you, you've always had that dog in you in terms of getting to the rack. But at a different level, it probably is very challenging. So, did you have a little bit of a
Yeah.
complication going from it? Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like for me, I'm like you said, like I want to get downhill, get to the brim. So
Uh-huh.
it was more like learning when to do that, learning,
Mm-hmm.
knowing about my teammates around me, knowing what they can do. So if I
Mm-hmm.
don't get that to the right guy, I need to look at other opportunities to
Right.
where I can get my teammates involved. But not just that, like I love getting my teammates involved as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it was a balance between knowing when to score and knowing when to pass. So it was like it
Mm-hmm.
was just kind of butting heads for me. But I figured out a little bit. You know, a lot of the time my coaches are still telling me to look to score, but I
Mm-hmm.
ultimately just I want to see my teammates do good too.
Yes,
So
for
it's like,
sure.
it's still something that I'm still working on. But that was probably the most thing that I had to work on for sure.
So, what do you think is the most thing that you have to work on now? You feel me? Like going, like I said, growing up, your shot has gotten so much better. Like I just love the way you shoot. First of all, ball comes off the fingertips with just straight flare. But is that something that you want to improve on the most right now, or where's the area that you want to work on?
I think my shot was definitely something that I've been working on over the years. But
Mm-hmm.
I think right now it's just being consistent,
Right.
like being consistent with my play, like
Mm-hmm.
just knowing that each and every day, regardless if I'm making a shot or not, just being able to go out there and give it 110%, and
Mm-hmm.
in all aspects of the game, whether that's defensive end and on the offensive end, scoring, rebounding, whatever it is, just being consistent in those areas.
Got you. So, kind of going forward, a little bit before you started playing with the Upshot League, you were recently drafted to the W. Now, going from the W's training camp, tell me what you really took from that experience.
I feel like I learned a lot from them, especially when it came to like taking care of your body. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's a lot. We play a lot, but we also have a lot of free time. So it's like what you do with that free time it matters a lot. So that it
Mm-hmm.
goes from eating right to stretching to doing the little things outside of just practice, whether that's
Mm-hmm.
conditioning or getting those extra shots. You know, just making sure that your body stays ready for the next day.
Got you. Did it kind of take a toll on your mental after the whole training camp in a sense, or did it kind of just give you more motivation to just keep grinding?
A little bit. I want to say I was with Minnesota my first year coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
So not this year, but the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard taking that, just being cut. But
Mm-hmm.
just knowing that I'm getting one step closer. I know that everybody's journey is different,
Mm-hmm.
and so being cut this year, I kind of just had that same mindset that. This is just my journey. I'm just gonna take whatever comes in front of me. You know, God has a plan for me, so I'm just trusting in the process.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, who or what is your biggest influence?
That's a great question.
Mm.
I feel like my biggest influence and inspiration right now is just my mom. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she's just been there with me since I was little, whether that's, driving to all those AU tournaments, taking
Yes.
the days off to just get me to practice, get me to tournaments, get me to games. Like, I didn't realize how much of a sacrifice, like, she had to had to make for me and my goals growing up until recently. So I really just give her all the praise for that, and it's nothing I can do to pay her back for real. So,
I totally understand that, but you kind of just sparked my next question about sacrifices. As a parent,
mm,
oh, I definitely can understand because at a certain point in my life, I was like, y'all was doing all this, spending all this money. Oh
right.
my gosh, it was a lot. But anyways, but as a player, you often also have to make a lot of sacrifices. Sometimes you have to choose getting in the gym rather than going with your friends or whatever the case may be. So what kind of sacrifices did you have to make to be where you are right now?
I mean, that was the same thing growing up. You had to. I didn't really get a chance to really hang out, like you said, with
Mhm.
a lot of my friends growing up because I wanted to prioritize, getting better and getting in the gym.
Mhm.
I feel like it wasn't until college where I really started to balance that social life.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just a lot of being in the gym and having to say to my friends or my family like maybe next time because I want to make sure that I'm ready for this.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think growing up, learning to balance that basketball with your social life is something that I had to learn too because that's important as well.
Mhm. Exactly. So, where would you say you see yourself in 3 years? Are we still trying to make it to the W? Are we trying to do overseas? Or my girl just living in the moment? We trying to figure it out. Like-
Of course, I want to make it to the W. That's always
Mhm.
been a dream of mine. But I'm just living in the moment right now.
Mhm.
When time comes and overseas calls like that, I'll take the opportunity as well. But the same thing, like with the W, if I get an opportunity to play there, then I'm gonna take it. But right now, I'm just staying focused on the Charlotte Crown.
I get that. Okay. I like that. It's a great answer. So, if you had to give advice to anybody, especially those who are trying to get to your level or just playing basketball or any sport in general, what advice would you give them?
I feel like the main advice that I would have is, just being okay with the process.
Hmm.
It's not going to be easy. It was not going to be, rainbows and butterflies, but
Hmm.
it's going to be a lot of ups and downs and a lot of trials and tribulations. But you just got to be okay with the process. It's
Hmm.
like they say that if it doesn't hurt, like you're not gaining nothing. So it's like
Yep.
you're going to go through those rough patches and but it's all about like just keeping your head in and staying true, staying and trusting the process, and knowing that God's the plan for you.
Okay, heavy on the God part. Um,
Period.
so if you had a chance to look back at yourself, your younger self, what would your younger self say to yourself now?
I think my younger self would be proud of me
Hmm.
because like I know how much of a perfectionist I am.
Yep. Got
So
you.
it's like, so like there are times like growing up, like even in workouts, so I would just be so frustrated with myself or
Yeah.
so upset with myself if I'm not doing this right or that right. But now I feel like I've made that transition. I made that. I put in the work to make sure, like mentally, I'm okay and I'm good when it comes to those certain situations.
Mhm.
So I feel like looking back, I think my younger self would be proud of me for that, for sure.
You kind of mentioned a little bit about taking care of your body, especially from the W and those expertise. Now, as obviously somebody that did go through a lot of complications with their knee, I definitely agree. Look, shush, we're not going to talk about it. But I'm sure you also had trials and tribulations with your body. So
Mhm.
you already stated how important it is, but what aspect is truly important? Are you more focused on just the eating right or the weightlifting part or the stretching, or is it kind of a balance between all three?
I feel like it's a balance between all three because they all work hand in hand.
Hmm.
Right now, I feel like it's more just stretching and strength training for me.
Hmm.
Um, and eating right. Not even gonna lie, I just got back from American Deli.
I'm trying to work on it myself. It's hard.
Can't even lie, but yeah, I feel like it all works. It all works together, like hand in hand. Being out here and being back home, I was able to like get with a strength trainer and a stretch person I can go to get stretched. So
Good.
that's been helpful for me a lot. in the off season. So yeah.
Okay. So a few more questions before we wrap it up. But one of the questions I really do want to ask, considering me and you are kind of quote unquote alike in a sense, we've always been somewhat the youngest whenever we go to a certain team. So being the youngest and learning from others, veterans, it can be a good thing, but a lot of the times it's kind of hard because you feel fall on the short end of the stick. So how did you kind of balance that?
I feel like it goes a little bit what I was saying before about how much a perfectionist I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I want to make sure like I do everything right the way that was told the first time.
Right.
So like of course learning from the older players, it's always good like because you want to be a sponge and soak up everything. But for me it was tough because like if I did something wrong, I knew like they want to get mad at me, but like they would just tell me like in the stern way, like you got to do this right. And so like I'm in my head, I'm like, dang, like it's like I want to be in this profession. I want to be. This is where I want to be.
Right.
But I gotta know what it takes to get there, and I can't. I gotta have tough skin about it.
Right.
Even though I'm young, like I know what it takes to get there. I know I just gotta put in the work to do so. The feedback that's coming from the veterans or the older players, like it's all from love. They want to see me do great too. So yeah.
Respect that. So my last question to wrap things up. Now, everybody knows Reigan Richardson, double R. She is known for her basketball skills. But you also have a total personal life outside of basketball. So, who is Reigan outside of basketball?
See, Reigan outside of basketball just lives a boring life. Like,
wow.
If I'm not playing basketball, I'm literally either watching TV, hanging out with my family, like, or just hanging out with my teammates. I don't really do too much. Like, I love to eat. I love to play little brain games. Like, I love word search. I love the Wordles.
Okay.
Yeah, I just watch TV. That's really all I do.
Okay, straight chilling. Got it.
I don't be in the much. I stay out the mess.
I hear that. Well, y'all heard it here first. Make sure y'all tune in next time on Plays with Pay, where hustle turns into highlights.